Right, gang, this is Hexy. Guess where we're at? We are in Stalingrad. All right. If we're Russians, we're in Stalingrad. If we're Germans, we're trying to close the bubble on Stalingrad. So we're going to play, what is this, Excalibre games? The Battle for Stalingrad. The wardrobe sent me this. Yeah, this is Excalibre games. This thing's in mint condition, and it was unpunched, unclipped, so you know took care of that. So, first cool thing about this game is you have two scenarios. You have the first week or you have the campaign. And you play both of them with the same setup. And then you have victory point conditions for each one. So that's pretty cool. So every time you set the game up, you're going to set up with the same settings. Well, the Russians they have hexes that have stars in them. They have to deploy a unit in those hexes, and then you have, leftover units that can be deployed anywhere, okay? So you can see the big sprawling city of Stalingrad right through there, all the way down to that bottom end down there. And the heaviest German buildup is down there in the south. And then they're a little more spread through the central sector and up here to the north. Really not much up here. They do get some decent reinforcements, as we'll go over here and look on the reinforcement chart. The Germans have all that stuff that's going to come on. Of course, the Russians, they're going to be always throwing stuff in there. Matter of fact, there's so many reinforcements that you have to wait till stuff dies to put them on the reinforcement track. Interesting thing here, the air support. The Germans start with 80 level bombers and 26 dive bomber missions. I haven't read the rules on that yet. I know how they can add to combat or be used as bombardment. And the Russians start with none. All right. Now, interesting concept to this game. Yes, there are game turns, and there's only 7. And it runs from 14 September through 2 November, and I'm assuming it's 1942. Okay. Now, it's not like I go, you go. The Germans will start, they'll move, they'll conduct combats as they move, okay? You can move a stack of units in adjacent to an enemy unit and declare combat. And then you can move support units up. So you could move this unit here into combat, and then he's already there, so you can declare an attack, and then you can use him as a support, okay? And the counters have dual sides. Let me get one here. They have the black text side, which is more or less like they're active. And then they have a white numbered side, which is more or less like being inactive, okay? You have engineers, you have anti-tank, and you have armor, and you have artillery, and they do provide benefits depending on what the situation is. But you declare your attack, and then you go through some steps. And during those steps, both sides can assign artillery. Both sides can assign air. And then after you do that, after you commit what you're going to commit to it, and there's restrictions to how the Soviets can assign artillery, and the Germans, they're a lot easier being able to assign the artillery. They can pretty much assign whatever they want to whatever attack they're doing, okay? But the Russians, they have limits to what they can do. And then after you've made all those commitments, the Soviets reach in a cup, and they pull out a chit called a reaction chit. And if they get a Soviet reaction chit, which is red, then the phase stops for the Germans, and the Soviets do a reaction phase. And that's how it works. And there's other little things too in here. So and then you get to the point where the game turns over when either there's no more units active, or both sides, I guess, declare that there's nothing more for them to do, and then you'll go through whatever process is, go to the next turn. All right. Now, objectives are victory points, and there's victory points on the map for all kinds of different stuff. Would have been nice if they'd have been listed on the map as to what they are, but it's got a nice list in the book there. So the Germans have to get, I think in just the 1 week game, the first game turn game, I think it's 8 or something like that, and then it's more for the full campaign game. All right. So attack, take places inside of Stalingrad for the Germans to get victory points. Never played a straight Stalingrad game other than the Stalingrad Pocket SCS, and that's more Soviets on the attack getting rid of Paulus's Sixth Army, or encircling Paulus's Sixth Army. So, not a whole bunch of charts and tables to this game, just the reinforcement chart and then some charts for your combat and stuff. And this looks like this is going to be kind of fun because of the phase type system, the reaction type system. So, hopefully, I'm going to have this started here the next day or two, get you some feedback on what's going on in the turns and how things are progressing and what little weird anomalies are in this game or what little fun little things are in this game, which I've got a feeling there's going to be quite a few. All right, so this is Battle for Stalingrad from Excalibre Games. Does it have a year on the box? This is, oh, by the way, the designer's John Hill, who Wardrobe can tell you what he's famous for. I can't remember, I'm sorry. No date on the box. I'm sure it's in the rules, and when I find it, I'll eventually tell somebody. Yeah, but we're going to get this thing rolling because I'm interested to see how this system works. All right, Sexy, let's get this up, and we'll talk to y'all soon once we enter the city of Stalingrad. See ya.